So we are here for some mining and music. It's probably going to be more mining and talking than it is mining and music, because I have... Motherfucker, get out of my face. These friggin' things are annoying. There's going to be more mining and talking, I'm sure. Because I have Met on here with me, and we are discussing some things that we worked on today that he was unavailable for the discussion for 08 that hopefully Bloody will agree with and see his way to adding to 09. I've already offered it to him that he will. Currently we are discussing the pebble bed reactor idea. If anybody would like to add in on this discussion, I will give you the link to our issue on GitHub, where you can see the pebble bed reactor discussion, and also, if we get back to it, the B discussion. We've been having this for a little bit, so we're probably pretty close to being done. But basically, we're talking about how it would basically work different than IC2. It would give people a different option for nuclear reactors rather than doing the old IC2 thing that some people have either A, done to death, or haven't done because they don't want to look up other people's plans or sit around at a planner themselves and come up with their own. I actually didn't think there was people that didn't use IC2 reactors or had a problem with finding plans if they didn't want to make their own, but apparently there are, because I've discussed it with a few people. One particular. Let's see, what way do I want to go looking tonight?
Well, if you go north, you will not find any lead or silver.
I'm looking for iridium. Have you found any iridium on Fear of the Night?
You're going to make me look, aren't you?
I'm going to make you look, yes. Oh, good God, it's Junior again. What do you want, fucker?
Hey, sound like a nighttime talk show. My special guest today is Sam. We were discussing the issue of...
We're going to discuss the issue of you being a fucktard. Go away.
Seriously, dude, it sounds like a nighttime talk show.
Can you talk a little bit louder so you ain't screaming through my mic as well? Holy shit, you big mouth motherfucker.
Okay, Aura Fury.
Oh, holy shit, I gotta turn down the audio. You guys are coming through loud as fuck. Oh, good God, we're already hitting a freaking bad area. Fucking chunks missing. I hate that shit. Just get started and I've already got to quit and rejoin the damn server.
Okay, you said iridium?
Yeah, iridium.
What else is in iridium?
It's a platinum vein. It's iridium, platinum, palladium.
Okay, because I don't have anything marked iridium. Actually, let me look under I.
No. You would have probably came across platinum. Platinum is the ore sheldonite. It's made up of platinum, palladium, sheldonite, and iridium.
I do not have one marked for my Aura Fury waypoints.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to continue going west and see what I can find.
West would probably be a good direction.
Because we do have another... we do have another option. I can always go and get copper, and he can use the chalcopyrite with nitric acid, but that's a little bit harder way of getting osmium than just processing iridium.
You've got the 2 Chalco veins I gave you, right?
Oh, I've got like 3 or 4 Chalco veins by now, yeah.
Okay.
So that's not a problem. It's probably almost at this point better to just go get the Chalco, but I don't think we need that much copper anymore. I think we're getting down to where we almost should just start dumping things into the recycler and try to get scrap to make osmium straight. Because that's like the only thing we have left that we don't have to make our fusion reactor.
Oh, yeah.
Other than the stupid ass 241 plate, which still annoys the shit out of me.
Well, you can always use that, the path blocks.
Always do the what?
The open block path in the recycler.
Yeah, I hate that fucking thing.
I know. But it's super cheaty and super easy and a good use for all the combo you're mining up looking for stuff.
If I didn't turn it all into frickin' triple compress for you that you don't even need anymore.
No. That's a good storage block. You can always uncraft it.
Yeah, if we make an unpack, what do you need to? You gotta unpackage it. I don't think there is an unpackager in here. There is in GT6.
Well, you could just put a single one in a packager.
Oh yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's lava. Okay, well screw you, we're not going up there. I probably ought to get in my bag and get my other drill.
Alright,
Let me go slower.
You haven't lost all of the stuff yet, the tanks I made for you?
No, I still have all of them. I haven't lost a one yet. I even found one of the old ones.
Oh, that you lost? It
Well,
was under the lava?
It wasn't one that I lost. It was one I forgot I had placed.
Oh.
I went to a sapphire vein and was like, oh, hey, there's still a tank here. Back when I told you that I needed another one for when I was mining, that I still had one in place, well, I found the one I had placed and couldn't remember what it was.
Huh.
It was in a sapphire vein. I'm going up here to look in this lava to see if there's any iridium up here, because I know if I don't go look, there's going to be. But if I do go look, there's not going to be. It's just kind of that, you know, my rule of thumb. I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. Alright, so there's the lava. Let's come down to this level. For some reason, I don't have a sword on me. Where is my regular diamond looting sword? I have to use your weird magic shit. Sword. That's all I've got left.
Is that the one with the smite?
Yeah, I gotta use it for right now. Luckily, you can repair it if I break it. Or almost break it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. Get down here. You cannot shoot fireballs out of your feet. That is cheating, you prick. Motherfucker is shooting fireballs out of his feet. If you can't see me, you should not be able to shoot a fireball at my ass.
I don't think he thinks that is cheating.
I don't think he does either, but it should go along the same things. A creeper can't blow up if he can't see you. This thing should not be able to shoot a fireball at me if he can't see me.
Are you hiding behind glass?
No, his head is above stone. I'm not hiding behind glass. His head is in a block of stone. It's fucking like a night mod. They all cheat.
Hmm.
It's just what they do. Okay, while we're here, iridium. We have 932 iridium left. We have 2,800 platinum. We have 1 osmium. So, yeah, I think I might be better off just going and getting Chalco instead of iridium vein. We really don't need the platinum. We really don't need the iridium. We just need the fucking osmium.
Yep. Set up your scrap.
Don't want to do it that way.
Yeah. What you probably need to do is set up the farming stations for all of Crazy's farms and just dump the output straight into the scrap production.
What I could do is set up bees and use drones. That's what I've done a lot before, too. Is just feed drones into a fucking recycler. That gives you a lot of scrap.
Yeah.
Especially if you would come on here and breed us some really quick dying, high fertility bees.
What I would recommend, if that's what you want to do, is the agrocraft crops, like the cinder pearls or something like that I had set up.
Mm-hmm.
Just those things grow super fast, faster than practically anything else.
Mm.
So just set up a farming station on one of those, and you will have more than enough.
But those are on agrocraft crop sticks, right?
Yes, they are an agrocraft.
A harvester can't harvest those. They have to be on IC2 crop sticks.
Well, what about the forestry farm? It has an orchard mode.
That we could do.
I think the orchard mode will work with agrocraft.
Okay, we can try that.
But those crops grow so fast, it's ridiculous. Because I had one of the 9x9s of Pam's sitting next to it, and I came back in a little bit, and Pam's, they only had like 3 or 4 plants that had grown to maturity. On the agrocraft thing, almost every single plant was mature. In the same amount of time, because I had harvested both of them.
Alright, well, I might have to look into that. I'll have to talk to Andy about it. I think tonight I'll just get this lava pool that I'm working out of my way at the moment, finish looking at this area to see what's here, and just go mine some Chalco. Because when do you ever not need copper, honestly? In GregTech, you always need copper.
Very true.
Especially if we're going to do the LUV things for that stupid book. Because it needs ass tons of copper to make those things. I don't even know where I put my book.
Okay. So I've got a design question for you. I know you're not the right person to ask, but you're here. So my Farmcraft area on my 112 test pack, it is marble wall, the white Portuguese pavement from Britannia, so it's a little off-white for the flooring. So what color roof would you put in it?
Okay, so your color schemes are cream and what was it?
White. And then the arcane stone pedestals and stuff for the actual machine.
So cream for the floor. What was the wall color?
Marble, white.
So cream, white. I would say you need something dark.
Well, the arcane pedestals and stuff are dark because that's in here.
Yeah, if they're going to be inside there, that would give you your dark. Then I would say probably something with some kind of actual color.
Yeah.
Probably like a lightish blue color.
Because there's the magic wood planks. That's a medium blue. It's the ring on my flooring out at my place there. The blue, that's what that would be.
That probably wouldn't look too bad. I think blue would go well with
Maybe
white,
it's a nice
cream, and
medium
dark.
blue. I could also do like blue stained plank and cork, which are a lot lighter.
Yeah, I think the lighter would be better with all the white you have in it. I think a darker blue would probably be too overbearing. And you want the arcane pedestals to kind of stand out as the focus of the room.
Here, let me take a picture of it right now.
Okay.
Things that
And I know you're probably going to drop dead when you hear this, but also maybe a really light pinkish or purplish color might also work good with that.
Crazy to hear you say that.
You've never heard me say that. I will not admit to anything. She will never watch this video, so you have no proof that I said it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so here's kind of what it looks like right now.
Well, apparently, I've already been up here.
The crafting chests and things like that are all temporary. So all those will come out.
Okay, yeah, I would say definitely something. Light blue would also give you like a imaginary sky. So it would have more of a, even like a light blue stained glass might look good too.
I have another floor above it, so.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have another floor above it, then I would say something probably the light blue. That way it gives you a more natural feeling, so it'd feel more like you have a... Junior, I'm going to beat your dog.
What about like the light blue terracotta?
That would probably look pretty good. I haven't seen exactly what color that is, but yeah, that wouldn't look bad, I'm sure. Believe it or not, I like designing, I just hate doing it.
I don't know if you can see it in here.
That's more of a pale blue to me.
Yeah.
Than light blue.
So if you look over on the right, the first two planks on the second row, those are the light blue stained planks and the blue stained planks from cork.
Okay, which ones are you talking here? The first two things I see are stairs.
Right, those two colors, the light blue and then the blue. You see the
I would say probably the second one because it's a little more blue, where the other one is just like a tint.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see this link or not, but I'm going to give you the link so you can see what he's talking about here. Hopefully you can see it. Since it's from Discord, I can't guarantee it. Greg can always see it, but other people have said they can't, so we'll see if you can or if you can't. Alright, so instead of going and looking for iridium, since we need osmium, we're just going to go get some more Chalco. And we got plenty of that shit to mine up. Oh, by the way, we have filled an entire quantum tank of lava. A quantum tank 2. We have 9 million liters of lava sitting here.
Centrifuge that stuff.
Well, we're going to set up an LHE, and then we're going to centrifuge the pejojo that comes out of it.
Wow.
It is better. Oh, by the way, I've never seen this before. He's actually getting our pool done. I've decided to make a pool on Fear the Night. I didn't even tell you about this.
A pool?
Yes, we're making an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Oh.
there's 2 veins right below our base that I mined out, and one of them is just a little bit lower than the other. So when you're coming from our base, you're going to be coming into the deep end of the pool, and then the other end of the pool is the shallow. And we're going to actually bring a Buildcraft floodgate and flood this thing with water. But he's actually going through and using basalt and black granite to fill in the lines that you would have if it was an Olympic style pool, you know, the lanes. So we have black lines in the floor.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I figured, what the hell? We have plenty of it sitting around. Why not play a little bit and make a swimming pool? I thought it was funny.
It is. It's very funny. Okay, so now the only question is, where am I going to get a bunch of blue?
Do you know where there's a swamp? Well, do you need blue or light blue?
Blue.
Oh, fuck. If you need light blue, it's easier to get.
I've got some of Pam's blue flowers.
Hey, Nano, and hi, Renan.
Those will take a little while to grow, though.
I'm gonna say Botania has flowers, right?
Yeah, but those take a while.
Do they? Well, what do you have for, like, using light blue? Because you can go to a swamp. Get away from me. Get. My ass is taken. You can't have it, you chupacabra motherfucker. Oh, Bear, how do you feel about Skyblock style packs? I feel that they suck fucking ass.
Bear can't go mining in a Skyblock.
I can't go mining in a Skyblock. I hate them. I do play them with Junior because Junior's, you know, special. Oh, he's special, but it's only because he rode the short bus.
When I was a kid, I had a guy, one of my classmates rode the short bus every day of his school. He lived on a very curvy street that a regular bus could not get down. So the short bus picked him up.
Well, Junior only rode the short bus when he went to Head Start, because that's all the buses they had were short buses, but I like giving him shit that he rode the short bus.
Yeah. But the guy at school did not like the fact that he had to ride the short bus.
I bet not. But I bet that was not easy for him to deal with.
No.
At least dealing with the kids that would give him shit about it, too.
Yeah.
Because kids are evil.
And mean.
Especially in grade school. They're just, you know, terrible.
Anything that makes you stand out from anybody else.
Yeah, which is funny because that's what makes you kind of all around a better person as an adult, is that you stand out in the crowd. Celebrities, you know, weren't, you know, the highest people liked in their class. They're the ones that stood out. Usually people that are like CEOs and shit were, you know, the same ones. They were the ones that were picked on in school because they stood out. They didn't go with the flow. They made their own way. So it's kind of funny that, you know, usually the ones you pick on in school are the ones that are going to be your fucking boss or your kids' idols when you grow up. Just kind of funny that way.
What was it they say, you know, all the A students, it's like, you guys are going to be the scientists and engineers of the next generation. You B and C students, you're going to be their boss.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Chupacabra really Brazilian myths. Yeah, well. It's fucking Lycanites. They add stupid shit from everywhere. Anything that could kill you, they'll use it. Hell, if we go to the Nether, there's doom creatures in there. You have pinkies and behemoths and whatever the hell those Chewbacca looking motherfuckers are. I can't remember what they were called.
Oh, they're from Doom as well.
Yeah, but I can't remember what they were called. Why in the hell is there Project E basalt way the fuck down here at 17? I thought that was only found in volcanoes. Am I under a volcano? Maybe I am. Oh good, I'm working on a pack and it needs testing. It's based around biospheres. It's skyblock, but not really. Well,
There are ways to do skyblock packs without actually having skyblock. I mean, I know Bear wouldn't play this one, but if you look at Regrowth.
I actually tried that pack.
Crash Landing.
I love Crash Landing.
That's a skyblock.
Technically.
Yeah.
Regrowth, I liked it, except for the, you have to use Botania bullshit. But I liked it. It wasn't bad until I found out you had to get, deep into Botania to do it. And I was like, no, never mind. Fuck that. Well, as long as it is a skyblock, Junior will probably play it as long as you don't force magic as a progression. If it's in there, that's one thing. But if it's forced progression, no. Sorry, we won't test it. If it does have magic in it and magic is forced progression, you might be able to get Net to try it, because you do 112 packs, not 1710 packs. So there's a possibility Net might try it. Because he's, a weird magic loving. Yeah, blood magic fucking retarded.
Yeah. I mean, I used to watch Wade's YouTube channel before he actually made blood magic.
You're not emo enough to like blood magic?
No, apparently not. I mean, I've played with it some, but it doesn't really appeal to me at all. Hey, 64 blue die. Yay. And I did do that. I forgot.
You stay out of my lapis supply, mister.
I turned all my blue flowers into dye and forgot to save some to replant.
You do realize we have an extractor. You might be able to extract them for more blue dye too, right?
I just did Pam's crafting thing for wheat flowers.
You do know there's that rainbow crop. You could spread that a bit and it gives you rainbow dyes. Or any color dye. Now the problem is you want blue, which is lapis. And lapis is the rarest fucking one there is because lapis has other uses. And Spiger won't just pussy out and make a blue dye. Because that's what I suggested.
That's why I have Pam's flowers in here. Her wheat flowers. Specifically for the dyes.
See, if you were playing with GT6, you could use blueberries. Because Greg actually made blueberry juice of blue dye.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought was awesome.
So is his red one a red dye?
You mean like rose or whatever? Well, he has a lot of different juices, but I don't think like strawberry or currant is red dye. I think it was mainly only blueberry he did that with. I don't know. I'd have to go look. Because I don't know if either of those are really red enough to be a dye. And I don't know what they originally used for a red dye. But I know they did use blueberry juice because blueberries are very, very blue.
Yeah, that is true. The currants, though, should be red enough.
Think so?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Might have to see. If he had a different color, the problem with that is currant juice is all the same, whether it's white, black, or red. So you'd end up getting red dye out of a white currant or a black currant.
Oh, then no.
So yeah.
Currant juices. No, I mean the berries directly.
Yeah. Have to discuss that with him. But honestly, in Minecraft, getting red dye is not hard.
No.
Where getting blue dye is.
Yes.
Because you got to use lapis. Let's see. It has Thaumcraft and Botania. There are quests related to it, but you can ignore it also. Oh, it's actually 1710. Okay. Well, if it's 1710, that's better for me. If it has Thaumcraft and I'm not going to run into a fucking hungry node or a taint biome, since it's a skyblock, sort of, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. We could possibly, depending on when you get it done, do it as a group testing thing where Net does the magic shit, I do the tech shit,
and I try to break it.
And we all try to break it in our own special little way. Crazy would do the crop stuff, but it would all depend on when you get it done, because right now we have 2 GregTech packs that we're trying to get finished. Fear the Night here and GT508. Both of them are really close to fusion, and we're trying to get both of them at least to fusion before we knock them off. This one we're actually trying to get to the Mach 3 fusion, so that's going to last a little bit longer. The 08 we're just trying to get to fusion and run the fusion reactor at least once before we call it a day and reset the world for the new GT5U Bears Den edition that is being created, which I think people will love and hate just like they do me, because we have changed a lot of different things, some things to make more what early players would like, and some things like the processing being properly done like GT6 has it, that most people are going to hate. Because anything they remember from playing 08 or 09, they're not going to be able to do to cheat their copper, iron, things like that. You actually get the actual amount of materials out of whatever the hell it is that you're processing. You can't cheat and go, okay, well, I'm just going to take it to purified and get an entire ingot out of it. Because, well, that's just kind of dumb.
Yeah, you get the most stuff out of processing all the way down to dust.
Yes, you get the most if you fully process it like you should.
And just because you fully process it doesn't mean you're even going to get an ingot.
Yep. You're going to get whatever its molecular makeup is.
So yeah, everyone's going to hate that.
Damn it, Net, you've been here.
What?
Damn it. I now have a hole in my frickin' floor because you've been here.
Oh, and all the way down?
And you always go all the way to bedrock and never fill it back in.
Did you fall down the hole?
No, but I thought some of my stuff did. So I had to fill in the damn hole.
If you went west, you probably went into, what was it? What's her names that took over that village? No,
I went back north.
Oh.
Because that's where a Chalco vein was that I already knew about. Which you found.
The coordinates for?
Actually, it's one that I found mining another one, but you also gave me the coordinates for.
Ah.
So we both knew about this one, just in different ways.
Yeah. Wood.
You'll have it done with quests in a few days. Well, chances on us being ready in a few days to do it as a group, pretty slim to none. Unfortunately. Now, there's always a chance that I can talk Junior into testing it with me, but then we wouldn't be testing the magic part. We would just be testing the quests and whatever tech shit you have in there. Because, well, magic sucks.
It does not. You're just jealous.
It's gay.
It's not.
I snuck into your Thumbcraft base the other day, and all I could hear really lightly was homo, 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 homo. Thought that was
Is that your attempt at a really bad joke?
That is my attempt at a really bad joke. Made me laugh.
Yeah, of course it would.
But I like terrible jokes.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. Why is it everywhere I go I find lava? You would think I like this stuff, and that I'm actually searching for it. At this point, I'm not even looking for it anymore. I find it everywhere. Why does anybody ever think they need to go to the Nether to get lava? There is so much in the overworld.
Yes, there is. There's a lot
If
in the overworld.
you just look for it.
You nailed it right there.
The fact that you have to get off your ass and go look for it?
Yep.
Yeah. See. It looks like people are playing less Minecraft. Greg's group in the same Discord is all quiet. We're lucky to have your channel still. This channel ain't going nowhere and will always be GregTech content. Have you gone to our Discord? Because we have lots of people in there. I don't know if we have as many as the GregTech Discord that Greg actually didn't make. That was bloody. Greg doesn't have a Discord because Greg doesn't like Discord. He has an IRC with a bridge to my Discord. Because, well, he's a cheater. It was our only way of getting him into Discord. Was to bridge him in. Because there's more supply in the Nether. Yeah, but how much lava do you really fucking need? We just looked at our quantum tank. We have 9 million liters of fucking lava. That's a lot. And that's just from me picking up what I find when I'm mining. That's not going out hunting for it. And none from the Nether. Because I won't pump the Nether. To me, that's too easy. Oh, there's another thing we were talking about today, Net, that you might actually think is a good idea. We want to make a thermoelectric generator multi-block. So you can make power in the Nether without actually sucking up lava.
Oh, like the, what are those things called? Red Power had them. IE has them as well.
Yeah, it's similar to the IE one, but it's going to be a multi-block that you put water on the top. You'll have to take like 9 buckets of water in with you because it's a Nether and you can't, place water in there. But you'd put like, what we were discussing was like 9 blocks of water on the top, built above a lava pool, so it has 9 blocks of lava below it. The actual water would be encased in the top layer just because it's the fucking Nether and you don't want it to evaporate. Otherwise, we'd place it on top. And then it would make you a passive amount of EU. But what we were thinking was this way you could have power, not abundantly, but you could have power to power, like those new miners that we made.
Uh-huh.
You would be able to use like the magic energy converter with a dragon egg in the nether to run that one. You could use solar in the overworld, and then you could use
Thermal
this
electric piles.
Yeah, you could use the thermic electric in the nether and not ever have to, you know, do regular power. You could just do passive. So it would be passive power, but it would be a multi-block to do it.
You could do passive power. Because you can, well, what you would probably do on, for the nether, you've played with Rotary Craft, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how they have those cooling fins?
Mm-hmm.
You'd do something like that. In the nether, you'd have the hot side up against lava, and then you'd have cooling fins on the other side, because you wouldn't have, technically, you shouldn't be able to do water.
Well, if the water's encased one, you'd be okay with that?
No, it's a heat sink. It would boil off the steam. Hot as the nether is supposed to actually be. You shouldn't be able to do a thermoelectric pile in there.
Well, how else are you getting your power, though? Because you're talking have a heat sink that then would be just turning a rotor on air?
Basically. That's why you'd have the cooling fin on one side. Or the cooling fins. So the lava is hotter than the nether in general, but not as much as if you built it in the overworld where you could have water or ice or something like that against it. So it wouldn't put out as much power, but it would just be, you could do air, or, you know, like if you were in a cold biome, you could put ice next to one side of it and you'd get some power out of it. Even if there was on the other side, you'd get a small amount of power. As long as there's a difference in between the two sides. So
now
like
you're going to have to make me make another issue tonight.
Lava and ice would probably be the most power, or packed ice or something like that. Would give you the most. And then you would have some type of cooling fin or something that you'd, a radiator basically on the other side. Radiator block. But that requires rendering.
Nah, we could do it as a multi-block, I guess, and then it wouldn't take rendering. We don't have anybody to do rendering. We need somebody that likes to do artsy type stuff. Because we need a texture artist, but, you know, finding a texture artist is apparently a lot harder than finding a coder.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm picking up coders left and right, but finding an artsy person is seeming to be very difficult. Those artsy types. Yeah.
Okay. So here is the... let me go to the other side of the room here. I'll take a screenshot.
Yes, you can make textures. But last time I discussed it with you, you wanted money for anything that you did, and we don't have money. We're poor broke motherfuckers. And rendering would be a whole lot different than just making a basic texture. And I asked in frickin' GT help if anybody would be interested in helping us with textures on the project. So if you're actually interested in doing it and willing to do it for not a commission, go put in GT help that you're willing to do so, and we'll get you into the GT dev channel, and they can just bounce ideas off of you of what they need and what they don't need. I have one person that could do it, but they don't have the time to do it right now because they're dealing with finding a job. And that's Treasure. Because I think he did a great job on my bear watching porn. And my outhouse. My outhouse is fucking awesome.
Outhouse is funny. So what do you think, Bear? How's that look?
Oh, let me go look. Oh, yeah, I think that looks awesome. Here again, I'll give you guys the link. Let you guys see. If you can see the link. There it is. Hopefully you can. Yeah, I think that turned out really well.
Yeah, I needed a place to put the candles. So I just put slabs and hung it from chains on the ceiling.
Hmm.
On new Thaumcraft, you have a limit of 10, basically. Technically, it's a hard limit of 10, max placement of 12.
Hmm.
So no more underfloors filled with candles. It now causes problems, and you have to use your new mechanic, which is a little annoying because it takes RF to do it.
Really? Thaumcraft is now requiring RF?
Yeah.
Why?
The stabilizer for the runic matrix uses RF.
Hmm.
But they have a Viz generator which runs at like 10 RF a tick or something.
Oh, so you can still use all magic bullshit.
Yes.
They just give you a generator that'll make RF through magic bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, well that's a little more the Thaumcraft way that I was expecting. Because I've always thought of Thaumcraft as being a lot like GregTech, just like the GregTech equivalent magic bullshit. Which I think is why Greg likes Thaumcraft as much as he does.
Oh, it's a highly technical mod. It is not at all well, it's not as magical as a lot of other magic mods.
Mm. That is why I somewhat, if it wasn't for certain parts of it, like the scanning of it and being able to break things down into their...
yeah, the infusion part is the pretty magical part.
Yeah. Like the going around with the thermometer and scanning shit, I always thought that was cool. And then the being able to break shit down into magical elements, I always thought that was pretty cool too. But then you get into the fucking pedestal and all that shit, and it's like, nope, fuck it, I'm out. That's getting a little bit too far for me.
Yeah. I hooked up one of my pedestals on pistons.
Yeah, you had told me that. I gotta get over there and see that. I haven't been on that server in a while. I've been either busy or being lazy.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, you have to get over here soon because I'm running out of materials that you've mined up for me.
Would have to do a magic or a mining and music over there. Nobody's even seen that server. Okay, I gotta go mining over there. I still gotta get my IC2 shits finished setting up, and I've gotta figure out what we're doing with that creosote. Which I think we decided we're just gonna burn it in an IC2 generator.
Yeah.
Let's see, that was almost a year ago. The only reason I needed commissions was because money was tight. I'm not really in a situation where I need commissions, so I'm down. Okay, well, just so you know, as Net or anybody else in the group will tell you, I speak without candy coating. I do what I'm doing right now basically out of my love for what I'm doing. I am one of the brokest motherfuckers you will ever meet. I make barely shit off of this. I do not have a job. I'm completely supported by Junior, which also does not currently have much of a job. But I would never ask people to give me money for what I do, because I enjoy doing it. If they give it to me out of the goodness of their heart because they have the extra money, then yes. So when you said you needed a commission for it, it pissed me off. Just so you know. That's why I have not asked you directly to do anything else. Is because, to me, asking for a commission from somebody who is as broke as I am is rude. Now, I would have completely understood it if you'd have said, look, I don't have the time, I have to focus on getting a job. That's completely different. And I would have completely understood. But I honestly couldn't give somebody money right now if I had to, because I don't have it. I make about $100 every 6 to 10 months from YouTube. That ain't enough to even supply my pop that I drink a day. Are you fighting shit again?
Yeah, I had one of those Ember robot things pop out.
I still haven't seen one of those.
Oh.
I have not seen anything on that server other than
I reduced
vanilla stuff.
Whatever the default was, I cut it in half because I didn't want to run into them all the time. But you don't really need more than one of them ever.
What are they for? They give you a special drop or something?
Yeah, they give you the drop that lets you make the book.
And
you also get some of those archaic bricks from them as well. Which the only other way of getting them is using the Embers and Fusion. Or finding the little world gen structures and pillaging those.
Speaking of, you know what I gotta do tomorrow?
No.
I gotta go find a fucking GT fort.
Oh.
Because Greg's an asshole.
What do you do this time?
He still hasn't given me a recipe for a damn lighter. And I don't want to waste plastic on making a Bic lighter. So I gotta go find me a lighter. He also added a Prismarine dungeon style now.
Oh.
I think he's trying to get me to get rid of that future whatever the fuck it is that brought back options from 1.8, 1.9, 1.10.
At Futura?
Yeah, that one. I think he's trying to get me to get rid of it because he's already made his own paths and now he's making light and dark Prismarine and a way to get it in the world. The only thing he hasn't done is like the making a way to make that purpler block or whatever the fuck it is in the end.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done shit in the end yet, so I'm expecting that to come later once I actually break down and go, alright, fuck it, Greg ain't doing anything in the end, we're going to the end. And then once we go there, he's going to go, hey, you know what I ought to add to the end? Fuck you, Greg.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
I know it.
And more just to piss you off rather than anything on his plan.
Oh, we also discussed a way of making an end portal at your house. But I want it to be more like a nether style end portal rather than it spawns you back on your bed. Just be a gate, like a gateway in and out. But you have to make it out of end material. So you have to get something out of the end to make the damn thing with. The only problem is, again, what do you do about people that cheat it by using another mod? I guess you really can't, like we discussed earlier, you really can't stop people from using another mod to cheat it, because I think, what is it, Tinkers, it gives you a way of using sand and ender pearls to make endstone. There might be some other mods that do it, so if you use endstone and you have those mods, you'd have a way of getting it rather going to the end. And there's really not a whole lot more there that you could say you would use it. Unless Greg actually went through with making like the purpler stuff and the chorus fruit or something like that. And that would only be for GT6. We would have to do something in GT5. Because this is for GT5 I'm talking now. I talked to Greg about it, and he's like, well, just go find a GregTech fort that has a fucking end portal in it. I was like, yeah, well, that's just awfully fucking random, don't you think? You know, you're saying that in the beginning, when you start the game, the first thing you should do is go find the proper GregTech fort that you want to live in or beside. And I hate that option, because then you got all the bronze and steel and half the stainless steel that you're going to need to get through. You don't actually have to do the early game progression shit. But I do have to say, these new axles that he's adding freaking are awesome.
Axles?
Yes, not the dude that runs Stylercraft.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen GT6.
Oh, he added axles for RU. So you can not have to have your turbine or your motor directly up against your machine. And he's talking about adding gears, so you can do like a bevel gear for 90-degree turns.
Uh-huh.
And I'm hoping he's going to add like a split gear, where you can split power. So you could run like a tungsten steel turbine, and then split that into two smaller amounts of power that are equal.
So he's incorporating components of Rotorcraft now?
Pretty close, yeah. I understand why you might feel that way, but at that time, texture art was my job. At the time, I wasn't only charging you, but everyone else I was working with. It's not like I wanted to charge you, but if I wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been able to have a roof over my head for that month. Well, like it ended up, the roof, I didn't assist with the roof over your head because I had to deal with the roof over my own head. And like I said, I understand you saying, I can't, I have to work on getting a job. Or I have to work on commission work only right now due to, you know, the fact that I don't have a job. But it's just the way I took what you said, or the way you said what you said, that kind of, you know, put me off. And that's when I decided I wasn't asking you directly for help anymore, because, you know, I don't have the money to pay somebody. But like I said, if you want to help on the project, go to GT Help Discord and tell them, and we can get you in there, and you can discuss with them what you can, what you can't, what you're willing, what you're not willing, whatever. And you can decide if you want to or don't want to help. Because that's one of the only things we're missing on that project, is a texture artist. And I guess if, like you said, you can't do models, then, well, we need a modeler as well. I could model, but they don't want, you know.
No, we do
fat.
not want you to model.
They don't want fat people. They're picky. They want sexy models. Although I am a sexy bitch. I was a sassy bitch. Hey, I can put on a thong just like anybody else.
Please, no.
You may never see the damn thing, but I can still have it on.
I just sent you a picture in group.
And that's now just going, look, there's so many things that I do not need in my head. And that is number one on the list.
Most definitely.
What the fuck is that thing? That's a golem?
Yep.
An Ember's golem. He's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, he shoots a fire beam from the eye.
Oh. A dickhead.
Pretty much. Luckily, the beam is slow moving, so you can often dodge it. But
so with the new Thumbcraft, does it have the taint biome and hungry nodes and shit?
Nodes are no more.
Nodes are no more? There's no nodes?
No nodes.
Not even just not hungry nodes, but no nodes at all.
No nodes at all.
Aw, no nodes.
There still is taint, but taint only comes about from thaumaturgical accident.
So no biome.
No biome.
That's awesome.
You will not find it anywhere in the world unless someone was over there screwing something up.
So the only thing that Thumbcraft has that I would still object to is those fucking hellbats.
Oh, yeah, they still have those.
I hate those fucking things. When you're looking over a freaking ledge to go, is that magnetite? Or, you know, when you're playing with GregTech and you're looking for a vein and you're looking over the edge and, you know.
No, that's lava that you just fell into.
One of those bastards comes up and blows you off the edge and you fly into lava. Yeah, I hate that shit. Lava's bad for bear's butt. It singes the hair. Along with scorching the flesh, which is never a good smell either.
No. Scorched hair, though, is really, really bad.
Mm-hmm. I unfortunately know what scorched flesh smells like. I got stupid and decided to follow my cousin. I was working at Wendy's when I was 16, 17 years old. And he got a call, an emergency call, right when we were at closing time. And he was like, I gotta go, guys. Lock up. And so we locked up so he could get the hell out of here. And he took off, and we were like, well, hey, we ain't got nothing better to do. Let's follow him and see what the fuck's going on. Not realizing it was prom night. And where he got called to was a scene of an accident where two couples in a brand new Mustang tried to take a 35 to 45 mile an hour curve at about 70.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not good.
It was not a good, pleasant place to be. Come to find out, we talked to him the next day, explained to him, you know, that we were there and we couldn't actually see because there were so many emergency vehicles, so we didn't actually know what was going on. We could just smell that smell.
Uh-huh.
And I asked him, and he knew that I was one that didn't shy away from the gruesome, so he gave me the gruesome details. Apparently the driver was found face first against a tree, still holding onto the steering wheel. They hit with such impact, he ripped the steering wheel out of the car with him.
Wow.
And was he was basically broken half backwards up against this tree because his face hit the tree, his legs were behind him. You know, bet in a very unnatural way. And unfortunately, the only two people wearing a seatbelt were the two people in the back seat of the car, which didn't get ejected, and, well, they were the cause of the putrid smell we had to smell. The other one either died upon impact or drowned to death because she landed in the old canal, which it was in a rainy part of the year, so it was full of water. They had to fish her out of it. So, it was a bad accident. It was one of the last times I have ever decided, hey, there's emergency lights and sirens. Let's go follow them. Yeah, first and last time, I got my fill.
Yeah.
That's a smell that I have never gotten out of my head. And as bad as my memory is, I can still remember the details, like I just told you. I can't remember most other things, but that smell is enough to linger with you for life.
Yeah.
It was not good.
No. I can imagine not.
And I have a very strong, ability to deal with gross shit. And that was almost too much for me to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, I used to piss off my mom's second husband because she worked at a nursing home. So when she would get home from work, we would sit down and have dinner, and I would choose to talk to her about how her day was. And her, being, straight out of work and not thinking about anybody else's sensitivities at the moment, would start telling me about all the gross shit that happened to her at work. And it would make him disgusted and couldn't eat his dinner. And I did it on purpose because I couldn't stand the guy. So I'd be sitting here talking, she'd be sitting here talking about, maggots and, shit like that, and I'd be eating rice. I'm kind of dark at times. Sick and twisted. And funny thing was, I was telling somebody this story the other day, and they actually were eating Chinese food at the time and got sick too. I was like, that just makes telling the story even better. That 20 years later, I still can make somebody sick with it.
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So I hope anybody out there wasn't eating Chinese while I told that terrible story. If you were, thank you. It made it even better again. Because I am a sick, twisted individual. And Rena, you can't expect that GregTech Forum to actually be, or Discord channel, to be active when the GregTech that it's made for isn't active. They did actually put out a update I haven't checked out yet, which I need to do so. Apparently there's a new pre-5, which amazes shit out of me. But supposedly they didn't do anything in the pre-one except for like recipe changes. And I think they added something that our GT5 devs actually talked them into, which was ability to make things portable. Saving NBT data per tile entity. I think they added that too, which is awesome. I love the fact that our version can actually help other versions. No, barbecue chips doesn't count. Although I could try to find something that fits if you would like me to. I'm sure I could think of something that would fit. Now it looks like I got the top layer of this vein done. And holy crap, do I have a lot of ores out of this top layer. How's my jet? My backpack's getting about empty. It's about time to make a trip back so I can refill and empty out. Is this fucker full? That fucker's full. So I need to grab another drum while I'm there as well. Probably grab a couple of them. Alright, so let's make a trip around the room, make sure I got every bit of this top layer. And we'll make a trip back. This is actually a smaller copper vein, I'm amazed. Usually Chalco veins are 5x5. This one looks like it might actually be just 3x3. It might be 3x4 actually, because it looks a little bit longer than it is wide. But yeah, that looks like about it, so let's head back and go empty this stuff out. Charge up the backpack. I'm going to turn on some music since Ned is not here to ramble with me. I guess in a mining and music, we really ought to have some music, right? Y'all hear that all right?
I'm back for a few.
Okay.
So how's the Chalco vein going?
I got the top layer of it done. I'm back at the base, dropping everything off to start processing down. Although I do have to check on something. I just looked and we have a filter that catches the Chalco, so it'll go down to be done, but I don't honestly remember if we have... And there's an item pipe. Because we had that, you know, explosion the other day. And I don't know if we have just a chest sitting over here. Yeah, that's all we have is a chest sitting over it. That's bad.
Explosion?
Yeah, I blew shit up.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, I was, you know, not feeling too great that day. My brain wasn't all on my head or on my shoulders as it should be. And I thought I had my hand empty. and picked up the block I broke and went to place it back down and didn't. I had a lower level machine in my hand.
Oh.
So I put like an HV machine on an EV transformer and blew the fuck out of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, luckily I isolated this setup so it was all by itself. It barely hurt anything else. But it did screw up a lot of our pipes. But we do have a problem here, as I just dumped like 18 stacks of chalcopyrite into the system, and it only has a chest as a buffer. That is not going to be enough.
Gonna back up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, plus the one that already ran through. So that's 15 stacks. So that's going to turn into 30 stacks. And there are only 27 slots in the chest.
Yep.
But there is 5 in the hopper. And there is going to be 1 allowed in the machine. That's going to be close to enough. How about I just upgrade this chest from a regular chest to
An iron chest.
Say like an iron chest.
That would do it. That'll give you enough.
Because there won't be very much Chalco on the next level.
Gotta go make some moving rock.
Rock's dead, it don't live.
Tell that to Tanya.
Yeah, I ain't trying to tell them morons anything. They think they're a tech mod, remember?
They are a tech mod.
They're not a tech mod, they're fucking magic.
It's a tech mod.
It's a magic mod.
It's a tech mod disguised as a magic.
Uh-huh, sure it is.
It is.
Lie to yourself all you want, you ain't getting me to believe it. It's got a fucking altar. It's magic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 27. That should be enough. Oh, did you see the issue I put in? Yeah, you seen the issue about scraps. What did you think about? What do you think would be a good chance of getting scrap out of, like, iron, sulfur? Now it's like a 1 in 9 out of anything you throw in. Would you think it'd be too OP to do 1 scrap out of each one?
Oh. Because it will be too difficult to work with other mods.
Well, screw other mods. Talking GregTech here. I don't care about other mods. And most other mods, GregTech already grabs hold of their materials that are elements anyways. The only one I know of that it doesn't is Osmium from Mechanism, and that's fake Osmium anyways. And there's enough sulfur and carbon to keep you in scrap. If they go with my way of doing it. And giving a better chance for that stuff than the regular 1 out of 9 that IC2 does. Shit, I forgot my tank. Damn it. I seriously think I'm underneath that volcano. I think that's why I have this basalt. Because it is Westos.
That Chalco vein that I gave you is in the under the volcano.
Okay, so that's probably why I have this basalt here.
Yeah.
Shit, there's lava down there.
You're under a volcano.
More fucking lava. There's lava everywhere, man. Again, why does anybody ever have to go to the nether to get lava? There's tons here.
Because they're lazy.
Fuck, I'm lazy and I'm still not eating it. Where in the fuck am I going?
Your power.
I can't wait till we actually start putting this stuff through a centrifuge and getting us some tungsten out of it. Screw you, lava, you can't have my goodies. You damn ambient birds, man.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot to power my damn backpack, too. Alright, fuck it, I'm going back.
Aren't you?
Yeah, well, this is me we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to forgetting things, I'm pretty good at it.
You are king.
Pretty close, yeah. I'm so bad at remembering shit I can make Alzheimer's patients go, dude, can you just remember something? Just one thing. It's kind of bad. That also was probably a terrible joke.
The only one I know of that's worse than you that I've seen is there's a guy that was doing mod videos, let's plays. Let's see if I can figure out who it was. Vasky from Battanian actually made a reference to him in the mod.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad it was. Because he'd be talking about something and forget how to do something or where something was, and it was sitting there right in his inventory. Basically, like the YouTube stream was screaming at him. It's like, hey, it's right there.
Yeah, I have that occasionally.
But he did it all the time. It wasn't just a one-off thing here and there. It's constant.
Yeah, that is a little worse than me.
And his hi Yorkie chilled.
Alright, before I forget again, because I just about went upstairs to drop off what I did just go get, let's actually do what we came back here for. Charge fucking jetpack, grab a couple empty drums.
Here you go. Here's this channel.
Alright. Holy crap at all the skeleton skulls we got. We also discussed tonight a way of getting skeleton skulls without going and killing wither skeletons. And Greg disagrees with me. Greg says it takes magic to do it. I say you should be able to take bone meal and put it together to make a skull. And then you should be able to infuse it with enough power and coal to make a wither skeleton skull. Because by... Say what?
I'm with Greg on this one.
Well, E actually said that there's some primal mana thing that 09 had discussed using but never did. And he thought that it would be a good idea to do that, where you put in like ender pearls, gas tears, blaze rods, anything that's considered to be magical. And then that would make the primal essence shit. And then you would have to use power, primal essence, and coal with the skull to make the wither skull. So I guess that would make up the magic bullshit. And I think QWERTY actually took my idea with that chemical X shit that he added to GregTech and using that basically as the magic component. So we might actually get that in GT5 and GT6 that you can make wither skeleton skulls. But in GT6 it's less needed, and even in GT5 it's probably less needed than what it would be here in 09, because 09 requires nether stars to progress technically, where Greg said he would never do that, even though technically it's his fault that we are doing that because he puts the fucking stars in the field generators.
The only thing that you use nether stars in GregTech should be to make the holy planks of Singear.
Well, you gotta have it for a beacon. And anything he uses a beacon to use. But that's not a GregTech thing.
That's a vanilla thing.
But using a beacon for like the energy absorber, or
that's magic crap anyway. So
yeah, that's magic crap anyway. So fuck it. But he's actually said that he's going to take the nether stars out of the field generators in 6 because mob manipulation should not be a part of tech progression.
Correct.
Where ender pearls don't count in that because those are easy to get. And you need very little of them.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do anything that has to do with teleporting in Minecraft, it should take ender pearls.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. So that's why we actually had originally gotten on to that discussion about Radon was we disliked the way that they did Radon in 09, so we want to do the Quantum Eye thing with Radon, but we don't want to do it in such a stupid let's decay plutonium over and over and over again infinitely and never lose it. So that's why we got onto that pebble reactor thing, which I really hope they add, because I think that's a great addition to
that. I mean, the way we talked about it would be a rather nice way of doing it.
But you know, the chances of it actually being added exactly the way we discussed it, slim to none, because you're going to have a lot of other people that are going to have a lot of other ideas, and then the actual coding comes in. So
yeah, but basically where it's but I think the one principle though that needs to be in there with 100% certainty is that it doesn't take a forum post or spending time in front of a reactor planner to make and progress to fusion.
Yep. I agree.
That's the important piece out of it.
Yep. Well, I actually am trying to get them to change the reactor to where it won't take a plutonium-241 plate. It won't take a nether star plate, because what the fuck does either of those have to do with fusion? Honestly. And go back to more of the GT4 way of doing it, where it just takes high-end tech things.
Like the iridium plates and stuff.
Well, in GT4, it was Lapatronic energy orbs and energy flow circuits and a computer. But we don't have the computer cube anymore. That doesn't exist in GT5. So I was thinking more along the lines of the fusion coil for the computer, And then since we have field generators in this, you know, have it take 2 of those, 2 Lapotron energy orbs, and 2 energy flow circuits.
Mm.
And as long as the field generators drop the freaking nether star needed in the center and go with the quantum mine needed in the center, then it would require, you know, minimal to no mob manipulation at all. The only thing you'd have to do is get a blaze rod and a freaking ender pearl, and if you don't want to deal with mobs, you can always grow that shit. Because Greg adds his own ender pearl plant and or IC2. Can't remember which one it is. IC2 or Greg adds the blaze reed and the ender pearl plant. I think.
I believe Blaze Reed is IC2.
But the ender one is Greg's, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way it is. And he's swording shit again.
Another one of those ancient golems.
Didn't you just say you turned them way the fuck down?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And you just killed one.
5 of them.
Damn.
They're like super plentiful tonight.
They like you.
Apparently.
They want to be your friend.
Apparently. I'm trying to figure out what to do on the my second floor of my tower.
You dirty mother. Get the fuck out of my lava. You bastard. Nobody likes you. Go away. Give me all that lava. You get out of my lava. I mentioned I hate Lycanite mobs.
Yes, you have.
Okay. Just want to make sure that was clear. Because I really, really don't fucking like them.
Yes.
I also don't like whatever fucking mob that was in that pack I was playing the other day. I don't know who in the hell thought it was a good idea to add a siren with a bow. That shit is evil. I was getting my ass whooped by these bitches. Yeah, I don't know. It was Craft of the Titans Light. Supposed to be 50% less depth. I died like 6 times to a siren with a bow.
Wow.
I have no idea what mod added it. But I spawned in and this bitch was chasing me with a fucking bow. And there was like 6 of them I ended up being chased by. But it wasn't just a one-off thing. Apparently it's kind of like Lycanites where they just spawn a particular mob right in a swamp. And they can spawn during the day.
Ah.
So I couldn't even get, you know, my foothold in the world before I was getting chased by this crazy bitch. Which I hate. Don't throw mobs at somebody on their first day. Let them, you know.
It's like the GregTech New Horizons, that horrible early GT6 pack.
New Horizons is a GT5 pack.
What?
You're talking Project Dark Matter?
Yes, that thing.
Yeah.
That thing was horrible.
Yeah, somebody was talking to Greg the other day. I think it was Supercoder about adding progression for that mod, Age of Ascension or whatever it is, that adds those things, and just about everybody.
You can't even touch them.
Yeah, and almost everybody in there was like, "No, good God, don't touch that mod. It is just evil," you know. And somebody even said, "Well, I looked into trying to code for them, and their only requirements to be a coder is you had to be able to add 1 mob and 1 dimension." So that's why everything in that mod is so unbalanced, because all the coders know how to do is add mobs and dimensions. So they have 20 fucking dimensions. and ass tons of mobs. But terrible progression.
Yeah, until you've progressed, you can't even get into other biomes. And hopefully you don't start in a biome that you can't touch the mobs in.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me, oh, well, all you have to do to play that is keep remaking your world until you start in the right biome. Like, that is not how a mod should be played.
Yeah.
You should not have to keep restarting your world until you get the best, start there could possibly be. You should at least be able to walk out of the biome you're in into a different one without being mobbed by something that you can't even hurt. Even if you punched it for 6 hours, it won't even take damage. Because I spawned in on top of a hill, and I had something that was like level 20, and it didn't matter what I did, I couldn't hurt it. It just kept saying on the screen, "You're not worthy of fighting this level," or something like that. It took no damage, and it's like, fuck you, and the thing could one-hit me.
Yeah.
So that is not the way you do mobs. I am all for a challenge, but that's not a challenge.
There's another freaking golem outside the door. Luckily, the Malise doors, mobs can't technically see through. I don't know what it is about them. Oh, actually, this one's an ironwood door. He was standing right up. Something with the doors, the way they do the doors. Mobs can't actually see them as a door.
Well, Malice doors.
Yeah, the Malice.
They can't even They can't even pathfind through them.
No, they can't.
Which is quite funny.
They can pathfind to them,
but not through them.
Confused.
Yeah. I actually showed that one time because I would stand on one side of the door and the mobs are on the other side. They just sit there and look at me. But then if I walk through the door, they'd hit me.
They'd get all the way up to the door and be like, "Oh, we know you're here." But then they could not do anything after that.
Mm-hmm. Carpenter's doors, same way. They can't pathfind through them either.
Yeah, I'm just about at the point that I can make Terrasteel with Tanya.
You can make what?
Terrasteel.
Fuck is that?
Oh, it's from
Magic shit. Another game I don't play.
Yeah. That one's a platformer. I don't know that you'd be very good at that one.
It's 2D. I gave my 2D life to Mario and Sonic.
Yeah.
I have no fucks to give for 2D anymore. Mario and Sonic ate it all out of me. Now look, motherfucker, I threw you in there. Go in there. In the lava. Thank you.
So my second floor of the tower, I'm wondering if I should flare it out to make it a little wider so I can have more space for like a walkway around.
We're going to do the English style building where it's smaller on the bottom and bigger on the top.
Well, I thought about, because I originally had stairs on the outside of it, flaring it out a little bit. So it came up and went out one row.
Yeah, like the English style buildings.
Yeah, I guess so. But the other part is I kind of post this.
Holy crap, I filled this one too. This must be a big ass lava pit. Let's do this a little different. Why is it
like the straight up tower in marble? Looks kind of nice.
Hmm.
So I don't know that I want to flare it out at all. But I kind of need to, because if not, the walkway around it's going to be really, really narrow. Either that or I make the room narrower. Top.
Damn it, my allergies are acting up again. Eyes are burning.
Yeah.
It's funny, Crazy actually had snow flurries tonight.
What?
And she's south of both of us. And it's kind of weird because her, the temperature said it was only 44 degrees, which is not cold enough for snow flurries.
You can get snow if
it's colder up higher where the
yeah.
clouds are.
Right. So what do you think, Bear?
I haven't looked yet. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
I got my fingers in my mouth, you know. Got to put dip in there every now and then.
That's a really bad habit.
It is, but you guys would like me even less if I didn't do it.
Probably.
The nicotine calms me down, believe it or not. As hard as that might be to believe.
Yeah.
As grumpy as I am anyways. When I quit smoking, it got so bad my ex-wife would, you know, throw cigarettes at me. Just smoke this fucking thing, would you? I was an asshole. You'd say hi to me and I'd, you know, bite your head off. What the fuck do you mean by that? That's what you get when you've been smoking since you were 9 years old. You kind of get a little dependent on this shit.
Yeah. So.
My mom used to hate me telling people that I started when I was 9. She goes, "Do you know how bad that looks on me as a parent that you tell people you smoked when you were 9 years old?" It's like, well, it's not like you fucking knew it. I didn't do it right in front of you. I hid it from you.
She's like, that doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I know. It's a fact. I can't help how it, you know, makes you look. It's just fact. And I didn't smoke when I was 9 around my mom either. Or at my mom's house. I did it when I was at my dad's house. Because I'd steal his cigarettes. My mom didn't smoke, so I couldn't steal hers.
Plus, she'd probably be able to tell right away.
Yeah, she'd smell it on me. Where Dad couldn't smell it on me because he smoked like a fucking chimney.
And Mom couldn't tell when you came back from Dad's because he smoked all the time.
Yep. I actually got my first pack of cigarettes from my dad's girlfriend at the time. We walked to the corner corner gas station for her to pick up a carton of cigarettes because she was out, and she opened it on her way back home and dropped a pack out of the carton. And I remembered where she dropped them, sneaked out of the house, and went back, and they were still sitting there. And I smoked half the fucking pack that night and got sick as a dog. I was throwing up all the next day. I swear I looked green in the mirror. I was so sick. And you'd think that would have been enough to make me go, you know what, I ain't doing this shit. But no. I've never been a really smart motherfucker.
No, you have not. Oh, wait, did I agree too quickly on that one?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about being dumb. One of the sickest times I ever had in my life was from when I decided that smoking a cigarette after I got off the bus before I went into school wasn't enough nicotine to get me through the day, that I was going to hotbox one through my nose with dip in my lip.
That doesn't sound like a good combination.
I threw up all over the teacher's bookcase. She was not happy. Because not only was it, a whole lot of nicotine to put into my body in a very short amount of time, because I literally sucked this cigarette down through my nose. I held the cigarette to my nose, and I would breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. So every freaking breath I took was, pulling off of that cigarette. It was also the beginning of winter. I had asthma and had to run up 3 flights of stairs to get to class. So I threw up all over her bookcase. She was not happy with me.
I can understand why.
She also could smell the nicotine on me very badly, so she also would not let me go to the nurse to try to go home. She sent me to the bathroom to get myself cleaned up and to get the janitor to clean up the fucking mess I made, and I had to come right back to class. Really, really sucked. So yeah, I didn't make the best choices as a teenager or a kid. Luckily, though, for me, I didn't ever make too bad of decisions because I never went to, juvenile hall or jail. Until I was an adult and forgot to pay a fine once. That pissed me off. Only time I ever go to jail is for just not having any money.
Now, the bad part is, even after you go to jail, they still make you pay the fine on top of that.
Mm-hmm. And make you pay for the time you were sitting in their jail.
It should be totally in lieu of.
It should. I only spent an hour and a half in there, though. I got bailed out as quick as possible. It's like, somebody give me money, motherfuckers. I am not sitting in fucking jail for the weekend. So I've only spent an hour and a half in jail. And then I had to fight with them while I was in jail because they're like, it's lunchtime, you gotta go to lunch. I was like, I ain't gonna be here that long. I ain't eating your food. They're like, well, we don't care. You still have to go to the lunchroom, whether you eat or not. You motherfuckers, just let me sleep until somebody says, get the fuck out of here. But no, I had to go sit in the fucking lunchroom. Jackasses. They don't like it when you argue with them in jail. That's why I wouldn't do well in jail. Same reason why I wouldn't do well in the army. I'm too opinionated. And don't like to take other people's shit.
This thing takes a comment plate. That's why I haven't made it yet.
You ain't got Osmium yet?
I don't have a convenient way of making it. Put it that way.
You ain't found the right cheaty way of doing it yet.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Well, in the new Thumbcraft, like in Thumbcraft 4, when I put stuff in the smeltery to break it down, you get 100% of the aspects that are in there.
Yeah.
And they go straight into the liquid essentia stuff.
Okay.
When you do that in here, like the base furnace is only like 75% efficient or 60% efficient. the rest of it gets converted into flux, which pollutes the environment, and you get too much, you start spawning taint and other crap.
So how do you get rid of the flux?
Well, there's research to go through and do that, but in order to get that research, you actually have to crap on the environment first in order to unlock the research. And what most of the people recommend doing is finding a nice little island somewhere, taking a crucible with you, and just dumping a crap load of stuff into it. And just let it evaporate out into the atmosphere.
And fuck the island up. What are you doing, the Manhattan Project with magic?
Pretty much. Because once you really screw things up, then you get the research to go through and fix things. But right now, the only thing I could really do would be to maybe grow some crystals. And
you can't do the silverwood thing?
That helps restore the viz in the area, but it doesn't actually purify anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Because I already have a bunch of them sitting outside the chunk I'm in. So it will help things.
Because, see, that's what somebody had told me if I ran into a taint biome, to build silverwood trees all around it and it would stop the taint.
It slows it down. They have other things.
I was also told I could build a wall around it and the taint couldn't go past the wall.
Glass. If you were to build it out of like a glass or something like that, you can actually block it in.
So what do you actually do to make Osmium?
To make Osmium, you have to...
Because I always thought it was just like an infused iron type thing.
It is. You take iron and you throw it in the crucible with some magic and some earth essentia, and it turns into Osmium. But I haven't made much of it because right now if I make it in the crucible, I have to use a bunch of nether quartz shards to pick up the extra essentia to keep it from polluting everything. So I have to go and I'm running low on those shards for one. And two, just the only good source I've got of that stuff, of the magic, is the mana steel that I make from Britannia. That has a good source of it, but outside of that, there is not really a good source anywhere else.
Really? That's kind of shitty.
Yeah. I mean, there are sources, it's just they're not great sources. Because most things in Minecraft aren't considered magical.
Oh, ain't like ender pearls or blaze rods?
Let me take a look and see what stuff besides Britannia has stuff in.
Gas tears. Because I can always make you some blaze rod crops if you need them.
Let's see. Some of the Britannia baubles. The Thumbcraft banners. They have a tiny little bit. Like if you make the banners, they have like the 24 of the Bestia, 6 Fabrico, 5 Alienus, and 2 of the Precantatio that you need. So they've got a lot of extra crap.
And the extra crap would turn into tank.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah. They'll turn into flux. If the flux gets too high, it turns into tank.
Ah, okay. So you need something that's almost pure, whatever the fuck you just said, Perdido or whatever.
Fragmentatio stuff.
Yeah, that thing.
Let's see. We got stuff from Britannia. Lots of stuff from Britannia. I'm looking to see what else. Hey, mana pool from Britannia. That's got 3, and it only has 12 other things that you don't need, or 9 other things that you don't need.
How hard is it to make a mana pool?
Oh, it's not. It's basically stone.
Hmm. But it would suck to have to rely on another magic mod to progress in one magic mod, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Redstone Relay has 3.
Hmm.
But that's a Thaumcraft thing that, I mean, you can do enchanted books. Those have stuff.
But how bad are they for other stuff? Would that be a viable way of getting it? That wouldn't flux you up too bad?
No, they've got a crap ton of other stuff in there.
Say, because levels aren't really an issue. I can help with getting that. If you needed enchanted books.
Salus Mundus has some, which is basically redstone and the crystals. That's probably the best thing for it. That's probably the best thing from Thaumcraft for it. Because that only has 5 potentia in it as well. That's extra. So 2 of those and 5 of those little shards would clean up the rest of the stuff. So that's probably what most people would use for it. There's also the arcane pedestals, which have 5.
But do they have other crap in them?
Yeah, they're not bad.
How hard is it to make an arcane pedestal?
It's just some arcane stone, which is pretty easy if you've got some crystal shards of any type.
Yeah, and shards ain't hard to come by.
No.
We got an ass ton of those, as long as they can be any color.
Yep, they can be any color.
We got green and yellow coming out of our ass.
Yeah, so Salus Mundus is probably what most people would use for making the stuff. And that's probably actually what I should use. And it's just redstone and some shards.
Alright, I'm gonna make another trip back and empty off shit and grab some more drums and fill up on power.
Oh, it's midnight. I should go to bed.
Hey, it's getting late, you should go to bed.
Yeah.
That means it's like 1 o'clock here.
Yeah.
I got probably another hour or 2 of this, and then I'm gonna go do Kerbal. I'm gonna go see if I can kill some more Kerbals.
Well, have a good night, Bear. I'm off.
Yep, good night, man.
Alright. Bye. Oh, did you look at the picture?
Shit. Did you put a new one? Yeah, I looked at that one. I put it in the stream so people could see it.
So do you think I should flare out the top, make it one wider at the top to get a walkway?
Yeah, I guess. I never understood that.
It does look kind of neat just having it straight up.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if you need a walkway, you need a walkway.
Yeah. I'll think on it, sleep on it, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, have a good night.
You too, man. Alright, back to some music. Alright, gotta do an old man break. Be right back. Morning, Stephen. How's it going? That must be a terrible day all around, man. If you're going to work and watching me, man, I feel sorry for you. I don't think this lava ever ends. I'm gonna have to add another freaking tank over here. Yeah, I was just showing earlier how even after all the lava we've used early on for our lava boilers, since we've stopped using them, we've gained 9 million millibuckets of lava. We've filled a Quantum 2 tank with lava. And I have like 6 drums sitting back there waiting for a place to go. We're either going to have to use another quantum tank or finally get the LHE hooked up and get it running. That's how we're going to power our fusion reactors off of lava. At least the initial startup cost is going to come from lava. And then we're going to centrifuge the Pahola down and get copper and iron and electrum and tungsten and all that good shit out of it. LHE, large heat exchanger. Oh, and now that lava's done, apparently this goes the other direction. Well, kiss my ass. Yeah, that LHG will eat it up quick. We've actually been discussing the LHE for 08 and trying to decide how to run it because there's an efficiency hit if you use a circuit, but if you use the 1,000 liters a second that it takes to get superheated steam, there's almost no way of piping that much into a turbine. So it's, to me, looking like it's take the efficiency hit or waste superheated steam. And I really don't like either option personally. To me, there should be, if there's a requirement for you to use that much lava to get superheated steam, then there should be a way to transport said superheated steam into a turbine. But it's going to make an ass ton of it. But the way the wikis and shit are wrote supposedly is a little fucked up. So we're just going to have to do some testing and try to figure it out what's going to be the best way to do it for what we have and what we can run pipe-wise, because honestly there isn't any material other than osmium that we don't have right now. Osmium's the only thing we don't have, and there isn't a fluid pipe that uses osmium, so it doesn't really matter what the fluid pipe is made of. We can make it. It's just we've got to, there is a, let me pause the music for a second while I discuss this, because it's probably a little interrupting. There is a high pressure pipe, but even the biggest one can only do like 192 liters, 192,000 liters. And I think if we actually did the coolant way, you would need 320 is the way we mapped it out. But I think for the lava way, we can probably do it. And when we do the coolant way, we won't go for superheated. we'll just go for regular, because I won't put the coolant into a tank and then pump it in. I will do it straight out of the reactor, straight into the LHE. But that'll be a second LHE that we make for that. Unless we manage to eat up every bit of lava that we have before we set up the liquid and can just use this one. But every time I go mining, I find more lava, so even if we did eat it all up, I would eventually have more. The only reason I'm mining what I'm mining now is because we need the damn chalcopyrite to make osmium. Because I don't know where there's another iridium vein, and we honestly don't need the iridium. We've got like 600 or 900, I can't remember what it is. And we've got plenty of platinum. All we need is the damn osmium. And you can always use more copper. In GregTech, you always need copper. E99 can make a new pipe. I've actually showed him the high pressure pipes that we have in 09 that we don't have in 08. And maybe he'll add something along those lines. But when I was looking at these, they kind of make sense, but they kind of don't. And if you were going to make another pipe, what the hell would you make it out of that we don't already have? Because if you look at these red ones, these are the high pressure. So you have 96,000 liters a second, 144,000 liters a second, and 192,000 liters a second. And the way that's supposed to work is it is a tungsten steel pipe with a pump. So for the small one, it's a tungsten steel pipe with a EV motor. For this one, it is an IV motor and a medium or normal tungsten steel pipe. And then for the large one, it's a large tungsten steel pipe, and for some reason, 2 IV motors. Why they didn't use like LUV or something, I don't know. Maybe because they want you to be able to use this before you get to fusion. And for LUV, you at least have to have the... Well, you don't have to have fusion. You only have to have the large assembler. So maybe they added this before they made the LUV motors. I don't know. But the idea of 2 pumps is just kind of goofy to me. And I don't also understand, how you're going to go from a small tungsten steel fluid pipe that does 4,000, how adding a pump to that is going to go to 96,000. So I personally think that their high pressure pipes are an afterthought, and they just went, okay, let's throw this recipe in there to give them a pipe. So I would rather ours not look like an afterthought and either come up with another material to make the pipe out of, or make it the same way but with another material along with the pumps. That way it didn't look like as much of an afterthought. As in my head, all a high pressure pipe would do would be limit the sloshing. It would have no sloshing. So it would have a faster bandwidth, bandwidth. but not really a capacity. What material? That's kind of the issue, is what would you add? We have tungsten carbide that we could use. I don't know if that's really the best option, but that's like the only thing that's coming to my head right now that would be better than tungsten steel, honestly. Unless you went with like something along the lines of osmiridium, or even a straight iridium pipe. Because, well, osmium is already really hard to get your hands on. So I don't really know if I'd want to use osmiridium. But maybe an iridium pipe. Because I don't believe there's an iridium pipe. Plastic, stainless steel, platinum, PVC, nickel. This stuff is GT++, europium, which that's a fusion material and still barely does what these do. That's GT++, that's GT++. Tungsten fluid pipes, those will go up to not much better than tungsten steel, dark steel, and then clay and lead. So yeah, there is no iridium pipe, so maybe iridium, or maybe we could come up with our own tungsten alloy. Maybe we could add like a HSS pipe, which would use iridium, tungsten, iridium, tungsten, tungsten steel, or like an HSSG pipe. That might be an option. We could almost make like an HSS E, G, and S. You say like the biggest tungsten steel fluid pipe is 4,800. So then you would make like a tiny or small HSS E, I think, or no, E, or G would be like half of that, so 2,400, and then tier it up from there. I'd have to look at how most of these get tiered up, and then just do the same thing and have the G as the base one of the HSSs, and then have S as the fastest, biggest, whatever, since it's the one that takes iridium and osmium. We're also talking about adding a different kind of reactor called a pebble bed reactor, where you would put like radioactive pebbles into this thing. It would basically be similar to a liquid reactor, except you wouldn't have to do the IC2 coolant cells and shit like that. It would just be naturally cooled by coolant or distilled water being pumped in, steam coming out, and that being a way of getting radon eventually. and also ways of getting lead, because we looked it up. I looked it up, and that is actually one of the ways to actually get radon is through reactor running either thorium or uranium. So we're also discussing adding something like this, so it'd be a new type of reactor. And I'm hoping that if we do go along with, the idea of adding it, that Bloody will take a look at a pull report and look at adding it to 09 as well, because I think it would be something that would be very useful in both our version and 09, because then he could get rid of that stupid plutonium decay to make radon thing that doesn't really make any damn sense, since what I researched tonight said that radon didn't even really come from plutonium. It came from uranium and thorium reactors, not plutonium reactors. Oh, we're talking about adding a pebble bed reactor. Then I'm hoping Bloody will take a look at for 09, not just us using it in 08, because I think it would be an awesome addition. Because most people that have played 09 have, kind of gotten bored of doing the same old reactor designs from IC2 reactors, and there really isn't a whole lot of playing around with them that you can do to make it different, unless you don't want to use whatever is, the most efficient or the most powerful. And there's so many mods out there that make switching the components out very trivial, where this wouldn't use IC2 components. It would just be here's the reactor, as long as you give it water and or distilled water or coolant, and the pebbles, it's going to make you a constant amount of power. You don't really have to worry about it blowing up, but you also can't get excess amount of power out of it. It's going to be a steady power source, kind of like what a real nuclear reactor would be. And then it would also give you a depleted item that you could get your radon out of. Because I was talking to the guys and I was talking to Greg that Hafner do nether stars to progress and get to a fusion reactor is a pretty shitty way of doing it. And as of right now, that's your way of doing it. If you want a fusion reactor, you have to, find withers, kill them, get their skulls, fight the actual wither itself, and get the stars. And I think that's kind of a shitty way of doing fusion. It's really, really grindy. The pebble bed reactor, it would basically take like rounds. Or if we decided to do it, the other way was you'd take like nuggets and the nugget would get formed into colored pellet, a perfectly rounded piece of uranium or thorium, and you would then have those fed into the reactor, and you would have coolant or distilled water pumped in, and you would get hot coolant or steam out, which then the hot steam or coolant would have to be ran through a large heat exchanger or a turbine, depending on which one it is you're using. Damn, I have filled up all of these drums with lava too. Son of a bitch. And as long as you fed it hot coolant or distilled water, it would never blow up. The only time you're going to blow up is if you don't have enough coolant in there to keep it cold. And then it would basically have a meltdown. But you wouldn't be able to like overpower the damn thing. You couldn't overfeed it with pellets. You know, it would only take the pellets as long as there's room inside to take them. So you'd have a constant amount of EU out of this thing. And the only way to turn it off would be to break the feed of pellets into it, and then it would go offline. Otherwise, it's just a constant amount of power that you either need to store or use, or it's wasted. Or technically, in this case, it would be a constant amount of steam or hot coolant coming out that you would need to use, or if you're a wimp, tank. Which I would hope people would just throw it through an LHE or turbine and not tank it. Alright, back to the music. Alright, so we got that one done. It's another vein in our pocket. So now, just gotta take my butt home, drop the rest of this off. I have now almost broken my drill again. So we'll also take care of disassembling and reassembling that. I do believe we have an IV disassembler now. So we can do 100% return on it. I just gotta remember the way out of this motherfucker. Because that is obviously not it. I think it's up this way. Yeah, this is the way I was looking for. Now I can actually get that scaffold out of there because we're technically done down there. We got both Chalco veins done now. I need to go down and get that sapphire vein finished up down there as well. I was working on clearing the lava out of it before we started. That's part of the reason why we have so damn much lava sitting here waiting. We just got to figure out where we're going to put it all. So we'll deal with that next time. Or me and Andy will figure out something in between. There's our IV disassembler, which apparently is doing robot arms at the moment. Let's get this out of here. So I can put my drill in there and we'll put the EV robot arm back in. I'm not quite sure why he's disassembling them. Maybe it's something I did and I forgot. Maybe he just doesn't need EV components. I don't know. So we're just going to throw them in here. He can do with as he pleases. I'll dump the rest of this iron and copper in here. That way it can get done processing. Hopefully this thing is not backed up, which doesn't look like it is. I was worried we wouldn't have enough storage space for all of it waiting to go through. Well, it looks like we're good. I'll go downstairs and check that here in a sec. How are we doing on power? Yeah, we're still going down because we're using a lot, but we got plenty in storage. Where's all my Chalco at? Did it really all get processed already? Go. That is awesome. Or at least all of it that's gotten through the tanks upstairs, or the baths upstairs. So let's see. How much of the... There we go. Platinum group sludge. Now how is there 0? Oh, because he's sending that out to the packager. So there should be 16 of them. Alright, so I haven't gotten too many of them done yet. Ah, damn it. Get up the stupid thing. And I think I'm going to talk to Andy in the morning about getting rid of some of the carbon and some of the sulfur, since we got butt tons of both. We might also look at calcium. I may be putting those into the recycler to get us some more scrap so we can make osmium that way as well. Which, speaking of, it doesn't look like the centrifuge is running. So let's go downstairs or outside. Let's see just what the tree farm is missing this time. It is short on fertilizer again. It's always short on fertilizer. We need to set up, because we're apparently not getting enough to feed Crazy's farm and all of this, so we need to look at a way of getting that automated to where it makes the fertilizer and then pipes it out here to the farm so this can keep running, because whenever it's not running, we're not getting scrap, and we really need that scrap. Alright, so let me go get the parts to my drill. Should be done by now. Oh, crap. Down. Damn it. There we go. All the parts to my drill. And let's go put it back together. I got a screwdriver in here somewhere. There we go. So this, those, that, and did I miss the damn screw? Little bastard. My damn screw. Hey Andy, I was just talking about your ass. Where the fuck is the screw? And oh, there's my screw. Why ain't this going? The last one did, but that one won't. Well, fuck you then. There's that little bastard. Get in there. And there. There's my new drill back. All refreshed. Put that in, let it charge up. On lunch break, I take it, Andy? Now we're just discussing the fact that we might have to start looking at taking some of our sulfur and carbon and putting it into recycle so we can get scrap so we can make more osmium. I ate up a Chalco vein tonight, so it's processing right now. So when you get on in the morning, you should have some more platinum group sludge to play with, and hopefully get some osmium. I don't know how much you actually need. We do have another option. I'm not sick. I'm going through that allergy bullshit right now, so my eyes are all watering and throat's a little raw, and I can only half breathe. But it should clear up here in a few minutes. Another option we could do, you need 256 osmium. Fuck me. Yeah, I don't think you're getting that out of what I just did. But we do have another option. We can set up some apiaries and start feeding drones in. If we take like need 64 MB fuel generators. Ouch. If you want, like, not today, because I've got some shit on GT6 to do today. But if we set up some apiaries like this one, we can send the combs, all these common drones we can send out, and we need to kind of get started on bees anyways. So Tuesday, if you want to, if you don't have anything planned, we can set up a fluid extractor to get seeds, to get seed oil, and then that would have to go into a chemical bath to make the let's see, apiary. So we need this impregnated casing, and that is from logs and seed oil. Only 250 liters of seed oil. So that wouldn't be too awful hard to do. So if you want to get an LV assembler and a LV fluid extractor for us to get seed oil out of, we'll make this a separate thing from this one, because this one is for the well, technically we don't need this one, do we? Because this is for lubricant. Can't we get lubricant now downstairs? Or am I thinking of the other version of GregTech? Because I know Greg puts lubricant out of oil. And we've got plenty of oil. All we gotta do is run the damn thing. Let's see. Heavy. Yeah. So if we do heavy fuel, we want the regular heavy fuel here. Or no, we want the steam cracked heavy fuel. Oh yeah, it doesn't give fucking fuel or lubricant either. Damn. So we do still have to make lubricant that way. Alright, so if you want to make an LV fluid extractor and an LV assembler, or let me look and see here. We don't technically use this hammer at all. We could move this out of here, and we could move this up one. We could put the assembler here, and then have this fluid extractor feed both of these. So if we just make an LV assembler, Tuesday we can make some apiaries, and we can set them up to automate pulling the drones out and feeding them in here to our recycler. And we can start recycling drones to get us some more scrap. And we can also look around the base at, what we have excess of, and what'll actually go in. Like, can we take these and can we start recycling them? Because we have so many of them, why not? Let's see if they'll actually go in. They will. So we could look at sending some of the excess saplings that we get in here that aren't going to be plant balls. We also have the plant balls that are coming up here that aren't getting sent over there. Oh, those went somewhere. Where the hell they went? But they went, oh, they're going over there. So apparently they are being used. Okay, so the plant balls are getting used. And because we haven't had the tree farm on, I guess we're running low on saplings at the moment. Is the tree farm turned off again? No, it's not turned off. Alright, how are we doing on... Yeah, we've got ass tons of logs, though. We might even be able to look at turning them in. I did turn these back on, so you might want to keep an eye on charcoal and things like that, because we were out of methane and all of that shit. And I also turned on the boiler, so you want to keep an eye on that today too. But we're down to 655 and still processing shit upstairs, so should be good with that for a while. I'll be on GT6 today. We can work on this tomorrow if you are available. I need to go get some more food. And then I am going to get off of here, take a quick 15-20 minute break, and then I am going to go play some Kerbal Space Program. So you might also, if you're going to be on today, start picking some rape and stuff to get seeds for seed oil. We also seriously need to deal with the fact that this crap is not going where it's supposed to, and pipe that shit and stop using that stupid ass thing that doesn't work. Or try something that I was told would work once. Piping it would probably just be fucking easier. But that is it for today. I am out of here. Like I said, I'm going to go play some Kerbal here in a little bit. And take about a 15-20 minute break. And then we'll be back. So have a good one, guys.